friends, myself Professor Prashant Mahajan working as an assistant professor at AISSMS Institute of Information Technology. So we have started a lecture series on fuels and today I'm going to discuss solid fuels and proximate analysis of coal. So what is solid fuel and what is the example of solid fuel that you know very well? Solid fuel example is coal. So solid fuel, we are going to discuss only about coal. So coal is a highly carbonous material and it is produced from the vegetable debris under condition of high temperature and pressure over millions of years. The process of conversion of wood to coal is called as coalification. So coalification is very slow process and it takes millions of years for formation, and in the coal the carbon is sp2 hybridized. Along with carbon, coal contains hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur which is covalently bonded to carbon atom. So coal molecules are large or huge molecule with indefinite number of carbon atoms. It means that it can contain 200 to 500 carbon. Coal also contain water and minerals which on combustion produces water vapor and ash. Means water on combustion gives water vapor and minerals on combustion gives ash. So that is solid fuel coal, its constituents, its hybridization and qualification procedure. So you can see stages of qualification. So wood is there. So this is wood. After certain time period, it will be going to convert into peat. Then it is going to convert into lignite. Then it will be converted to bituminous coal, and then lastly it will be converted to the anthracite coal. If we move from left to right, carbon content, calorific value and hardness of coal is going to be increased. I am repeating. If we move from wood to anthracite, carbon content, calorific value and hardness is going to be increased, and moisture content, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur and volatile matter is going to be decreased. That means calorific value of coal wood is very low as compared to anthracite, and moisture in the wood is more or very high as compared to anthracite. So you can see second diagram also. So wood on aerobic decay produces peat, and peat on anaerobic bacteria and in acidic condition it will produce lignite, and if it take longer time then it will produce bituminous. Peat again after long time in alkaline condition in presence of anaerobic bacteria it produces anthracite. So this is the stages of qualification. So anthracite is having more carbon content, that means it has more calorific value than bituminous, than lignite, than peat, than wood. So that are the stages of qualification. So next part is analysis of coal. Why analysis of coal is necessary? So first it will decide the price of coal, it will determine the quality of coal, to specify use of coal for particular purpose, to calculate theoretical calorific value of coal, and last to calculate air requirement for complete combustion of coal and design the furnace firebox suitably. So 5 points are there. First, we are going to decide price, we are going to determine quality, we are going to specify use of the coal for a specific purpose, then we are going to calculate theoretical value of coal, theoretical calorific value of coal, and then last we are going to calculate air requirement for complete combustion of coal and design the furnace firebox suitably. So there are two types of analysis of coal. One is proximate analysis and other is ultimate analysis. So you can see in the diagram. So we are going to discuss today only proximate analysis. So proximate analysis means determination of percent of moisture, percent volatile matter, and percent ash, and remaining part is percent of fixed carbon content. That procedure is called as proximate analysis. So first, proximate analysis, again the definition is given: determination of percentage of percent moisture, percent volatile matter, percent ash, and percent fixed carbon content. So we are going to see one by one. So first is percent moisture. So as we know, boiling point of water is 100. So moisture can get evaporate on heating above 100. That is, you can heat that coal sample up to 105 to 110 degree Celsius. So what method you have to apply? So you have to take a known weight of powdered air dried coal sample in a crucible. So you have to take a crucible. In that crucible, you have to take a powder and air dried coal sample. You have to heat that crucible in oven for 1 hour at 110 degrees Celsius. After 1 hour, the coal is cooled in desiccator and weighed out. If the initial weight of coal is in grams and final weight in grams, then the loss in the weight of coal is M minus M1 corresponds to the moisture in the coal. Means what? If suppose you have taken 1 gram of a coal, okay, suppose you have taken 1 gram of a coal, after heating for 1 hour at 110 degrees Celsius in oven, after 1 hour you cool and weighed that coal sample. So initial weight was 1 gram and then second weight was 0.9. So you can directly say 1 minus 0.9, that is the moisture, that is 0.1. So that is the moisture. So formula is there: moisture percent is equal to loss in the weight upon weight of the coal into 100, that is M minus M1 upon M into 100. So you will get idea after solving the numerical. So see the numerical. A coal sample weighing 1 gram loses 0.09 grams weight on heating at 110 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. Calculate percentage moisture. Now, the numerical is of two types. One, directly they are giving loss in the weight. Means what? Directly you are going to take 0.09. No need to subtract that 0.09 from 1, because they are given a coal sample weighing 1 gram loses 0.09 gram, means directly loss in the weight is given. So you use this formula. Loss in the weight is 0.09 gram divided by weight of the coal sample is 1 gram into 100. So the answer will come 9%. And second thing, they are going to give like that: a coal sample weighing 1 gram after heating for 1 hour at 110 degrees Celsius, it weighs 0.90. So you have to subtract that 1 from 0.90, means you have to use this formula. So they are going to give two things: one, they are going to give directly loss in the weight, and second thing, they are going to give initial and final weight. So that is percent moisture. Second is percent volatile matter. So what you have to do, the coal sample which is moisture free, or that coal sample which is used in the experiment number 1, that you have to cover with the lid loosely. Then it is heated at 925 degrees Celsius in muffle furnace for 7 minutes. The crucible is taken out and cooled in a desiccator. It is weighed, that is M2 grams. The loss of weight is M1 minus M2 is due to loss of volatile matter in grams of the coal sample. So what is volatile matter? So volatile matter is the thermally decomposed coal during burning of coal that escape without combustion. So what you have to do simply, the coal sample which is previously heated in experiment number 1, that you have to keep at 925 degrees Celsius in muffle furnace for 7 minutes with lid loosely, and after 7 minutes you have to you have to cool that crucible, and then you have to weigh that. So that will be your M2 grams. So formula is percent volatile matter is equal to weight of volatile matter divided by weight of air dried coal into 100. So this is one formula if directly loss in the weight is given. And second formula is M1 minus M2 divided by M into 100. So that is your initial and final weight. So numerical is there. So you can see 1 gram of a coal sample is heated to remove all moisture. Then the residual coal loses 0.21 weight when heated in muffle furnace at 950 degree Celsius. So if loss in the weight is given, directly take loss in the weight upon weight of the coal into 100. And if initial and final weight is given, then take do subtraction of initial and final weight. So from here you can get directly idea, that is loss in the weight is 0.21 divided by 1 into 100. So answer comes 21%. So this is the one way of calculation of percent volatile matter. So if the coal sample is previously heated, then you have to use this procedure. Then if you are going to take fresh coal sample, you have to apply this procedure. Means what? The procedure will be the same, that you have to heat that sample for 925 degrees Celsius for 7 minutes in muffle furnace with lid on loosely. But what happens at 925? So 925, the loss in the weight at 925 will be due to loss of moisture and volatile matter. If W is the weight of the air dried coal and W1 is due to mass of the coal left at 925 degrees Celsius heating, then means what? When you are going to heat coal sample at 925 degrees Celsius along with volatile matter, moisture percentage or moisture is going to be evaporated, and that value, from that value you have to subtract percentage moisture. Then the formula becomes volatile matter percentage is equal to loss in the weight due to moisture and volatile matter divided by weight of coal into 100 minus percentage moisture. If you take W and W1, then W minus W1 into 100 divided by W minus percentage moisture. So you can see a coal contains 10% moisture and 1 gram of a coal loses 0.3 gram weight on heating at 925 degrees Celsius. In the absence of air, calculate volatile matter. So percentage moisture is given. So you can see here percentage moisture is given. So percentage moisture is given, that is 10%, and 1 gram of coal loses 0.3 gram. So you can directly take that 0.3 gram upon 1 into 100. So 0.3 upon 1 into 100, that will come 30, and percent moisture is 10. So 30 minus 10, the answer will come 20. So that is percent volatile matter. Then third is percentage ash, that is principle is given. Inorganic matter in coal gets oxidized to form metal oxide and silica, which is non-combustible and left as ash. So what we are going to do, we are going to take crucible. In that crucible we are going to take coal sample. You have to ignite that coal sample at 750 degrees Celsius for half hour. After half hour you have to remove that from the muffle furnace. You have to cool, you have to weigh that coal sample. So what happens in the last two steps, we are taking initial minus final. In that step we are going to take residue remaining, that is nothing but ash. So you can see percentage ash is equal to weight of the ash upon weight of the coal into 100, that is M3 upon M into 100. So you can see here directly, you can see the use this formula. So 1 gram of a coal sample is ignited at 750 degrees Celsius in a muffle furnace. The residue weight is 0.15 gram. Calculate the percent ash. So directly they have given residue. So you can take 0.15, that is weight of ash, divided by 1, that is weight of coal, into 100. Then the answer will come 15%. So that is percentage ash. So what you have to do? You have to take coal sample in a crucible. You have to ignite that coal sample at 750 degrees Celsius for half hour with no lead. There is no lead. So in the half hour, carbon will get ignited and remaining will be the ash content. And last, that is fixed carbon content. So what you have to do? This is the actual amount of carbon available for combustion. After loss of some carbon in the form of volatile matter, it is formed by calculation, or it is found by calculation. So what you have to take? Fixed carbon percentage is equal to 100 minus, in bracket, percent moisture plus percent volatile matter plus percentage ash. So suppose percent moisture is 10%, percent volatile matter is 15%, and percent ash is 15%. So this is 15 plus 15 plus 10, that will be 40. So 100 minus 40, it is, the answer will come 60%. So that is fixed carbon content. So you will get separate four numericals, or you will get combined one numerical. So you can see the numerical. I am reading that numerical. You can solve on your own. So exactly 2.2 gram of a sample on heating in a silica crucible for about an hour at 110 degrees Celsius give a residue of 1.98 gram. So this is M, this is M1. So you can calculate from here percentage moisture. Then the crucible was then covered with the vented lid and strongly heated for exactly 7 minutes, 950 plus minus 20 degrees Celsius. 1.2 gram of residue was left. So what you have to do? So this is M, this is M1, this is M2. Then the crucible was then heated without lid until constant weight was obtained, reached. The final residue weight is 0.240. Calculate percentage of results of the above data. So this is M, this is M1, this is M2, and this is M3. So you can calculate the answer. So significance or importance of proximate. So what is significance? Significance is nothing but the importance, means what should be more in the coal sample, what should be less in the coal sample, and what is the reason behind it. So first is percentage moisture. So percentage moisture in the coal should be low because it decreases calorific value of coal largely, as it does not burn and take away heat in the form of latent heat. So 2-3 points are there. First, it decreases calorific value. Second, it increases ignition point of coal. Hence, the coal with lesser moisture will be the good quality coal. Second, volatile matter. Again, it decreases calorific value. It will increase pollution. It will elongate flame and it forms smoke. So, lesser the percentage volatile matter, better is the quality of coal. So 15 to 25% volatile matter content is desirable or suitable for making hard and strong coke. So the reasons are given why it should be lesser. Next, ash. So again, it reduces calorific value of coal in non-burning part of the coal. Ash disposal is a problem, and ash fuses to form clinker at high temperature that blocks air supply. So these are the three reasons why ash should be low. One, it reduces calorific value. Second, ash disposal is a problem. And third, ash fuses to form clinker at high temperature that blocks the air supply. Means what? It will be problematic for combustion of coal. So lesser the percentage of ash, better is the quality of coal. And last, fixed carbon content. So carbon is the burning part of the coal at higher and higher the fixed carbon content, higher is the calorific value. Hence, a good quality coal contains high fixed carbon content. So I'm just revising in brief. So moisture should be low, volatile matter should be low, ash content should be low, and fixed carbon content, it should be higher. That will be a good quality coal. So that is about proximate analysis of coal. Thank you.